Let's go ahead and break down all the differences between the old iPad mini 4 and the 2019 iPad mini 5. Hey everyone, it is Andrew here from AppleInsider, and this is the brand new 5th generation iPad mini. This is the 4th generation iPad mini. This is the 5th generation iPad mini. They look pretty similar. We really wouldn't blame you if you couldn't spot the physical differences between the 4th generation and the 5th generation. But there actually are quite a few things that separate the 5th from the 4th. So what are those differences, and should you care? Well, that's what this video is all about. Let's go ahead and dive in. Starting out with raw specs. The iPad mini 5, just like the iPad mini 4, has a 7.9-inch display that runs 2048 by 1536 resolution, which gives you a PPI of 326, basically the highest resolution displays that Apple puts out. Of course, it qualifies as a Retina resolution display. As far as the display goes, the biggest difference is in the quality. While it's still the same resolution, it's a whole lot better. For one, it supports True Tone, which means it adjusts the white balance and the temperature of the display based on the ambient lighting in a room. If it's more natural light and it's warmer, the display is going to look warmer. If you're an artificial light and it's a little more blue, it's going to tilt a little more blue. That's going to be great to making the display look more natural and easier to read in different lighting scenarios. It's also brighter, going from 450 to 500 nits in brightness. And lastly, it supports the P3 wide color gamut, which, if you can't tell by this really beautiful bright wallpaper, colors really pop. If you're looking at photos and everything on here, you're really going to notice a difference in the quality of the colors on this display. Also updated on the latest version of the iPad mini is the wireless support. The new iPad mini now supports Bluetooth 5, where the previous generation only supported Bluetooth 4.0. Apple kept the same Wi-Fi standard, still supports 802.11 AC, but the newer version now supports simultaneous dual band, whereas the previous only supported dual band. It's not going to notice much difference in day-to-day life, but it is a small difference between each of the two models. So if you had both the iPad mini 4 and the iPad mini 5 sitting next to one another, would you be able to tell the difference between the two? Well, it all comes down to the really one physical difference, and that is going to be the microphone. The microphone has been relocated, or should I say the pair of microphones has been relocated from the 4th generation to the 5th. On the original version, or the iPad mini 4, it sits on the side there, as well as right next to the camera module. On the 5th generation, it's been relocated to the center of the back and the top edge. It is a very small difference between the two tablets, but it will affect a lot of things, including cases. Even though the physical size of the iPad is the same, if you pick up a case for the iPad mini 4, it will fit the iPad mini 5, but both of those microphones are going to be covered up. If you don't care about the mics, go ahead, pick up an iPad mini 4 case, they're probably cheaper, but if you do care about those, you shoot any video, you want any audio kind of coming in, you should probably pick up a case dedicated to the mini 5. Before we dive into the fun stuff, the performance improvements on the iPad mini 5, let's go ahead and thank our sponsors, Malwarebytes. Malwarebytes, if you're not aware, helps scan your Mac in under 30 seconds to remove adware and unwanted programs that slow your machine. Plus, it also detects and removes viruses, ransomware, and other malware in real time using their advanced anti-malware technology. It's been proven that Malwarebytes technology crushes the growing threat of Mac malware, and if you want to learn more about them, make sure to visit malwarebytes.com/Mac for your free download and 14-day trial of their premium offering, or click the link in the description down below. Again, thanks to Malwarebytes for sponsoring this video. Let's take a tick and talk about cameras. Not much has changed with the rear-facing shooter. It's still pretty much the same, 8 megapixels. It's a pretty solid camera. It's going to do great for a lot of outdoor well-lit photography or anything in the AR space. It's still going to be pretty cool. It's really not going to be your main camera. You should still probably resort to your phone or a dedicated camera if you care about the photos all that much. But anything that's well-lit will do just fine with these shooters. But it's the front-facing camera that got a big overhaul. It's not Face ID or the True Depth camera system, but it went from 1.2 megapixels to 7 megapixels. So all those selfies are going to look a whole lot better. is also now capable of shooting 1080p video at 30 frames a second instead of being limited to 720. Also worth mentioning is these front-facing cameras can now shoot live photos as well as wide color photos. Now let's get into that internal changes, notably the upgrade from an A8 processor to the Apple-designed A12 Bionic processor. This is the same chipset found in the iPhone XS, XS Max, and iPhone XR. You can see the ridiculous upgrade in performance, going from 1606 to 4806 and 3008 to 11410 on our Geekbench single and multi-core tests. It's also upgraded from the M8 to the M12 coprocessor. The new A12 Bionic processor improves graphics immensely. You can see on this Antutu test the dropped frames on that iPad mini 4, i.e. the one on the left. Looking at the results of the Antutu test, which runs a bunch of different categories, you can see the huge difference in the overall scores, going from 90,377 to 369,959. Other changes internally is Apple increased the max storage, now going up to 256 rather than 128, and the RAM has increased 50% to 3 gigs. So what do you guys think of the iPad mini 5? Now would you be able to spot the differences between the 4th and 5th generation? I hope you should after we went through everything in this video, physical changes, software changes, and otherwise. Let us know down below in the comments what you think, as well as if you're going to be picking one up. If you want to continue the conversation, you can reach out to me on Twitter at Andrew_OSU, and if you want to grab an iPad mini for yourself, you can find the best deals at the link below in the description. Hey everyone, did you guys like that video? Be sure to click on that like button so we can create content that we know that you guys want to see. And follow Apple Insider on all social media channels. If you want the best prices on any Apple gear, check out the Apple Insider price guide that is updated daily. And until next time, we'll see you later.